Welcome back, guys, for part 3. This part here will focus more on the positives. The last video, as you can see, even talking about those things, I don't spend my life, and I think this is where I'm going to start it off with number 1 actually, before I go into the list. It's hard when you're clearly, I won't say clearly, I say it's hard when you're focusing, when you wake up in the morning and you focus on mental health, you focus on depression, you focus on this, you focus on that. I don't even think about my symptoms. As far as I'm concerned, when I walk along the road, I suffer from nothing. If anything, it's the opposite. I'm Superman as far as I'm concerned. I don't think about these things because it's not healthy. All you're doing is you're looping your mind really in a circle of depression and negativity and things like that. So in the last video, you could see when I start scratching my face and I've got a finger in my ear and all that kind of stuff. I just don't want to talk about it. But I think I do need to talk about it, and this goes back to the Facebook page. Is that support it. I suffer from it, kind of thing. So yeah, I do need to talk about it. If I can offer some sort of advice to kind of help someone's life or whatever, then by all means I should be doing it. And that's what this video is about. So the first, number 1, I would definitely say for people out there, mental health is put it away somewhere. Even though these things are there, and it's easier said than done. It's like having a pain in your leg and I'm telling you, oh, forget that the pain's there. It is there. It's constantly there. You're thinking about it. I know, but you've got to somehow tell yourself that it's not there. Don't focus on these things, because time on this earth is very short. You just don't want to spend so much of your life focusing on something that, to be honest with you, you have no control over. So that's number 1. Right. So I'm going to go from the old list that I had back in the day. So I actually said on the first video that it was 12, like the introductory video. It's 12 years ago that I created my site. It's actually 14 years ago, but I did keep, before the site actually shut down, because I never said how it came to an end. One day they just suddenly closed down the site, didn't even warn people, whatever, and so much of my stuff was gone, and I just couldn't be bothered to just do it again. And you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I'm glad it did happen because I just don't want to think about it. But this mental health thing, I do want to get out of the way if it can offer some sort of help. So right, let's get stuck into the list if I can find it. Right, here we go. So here's some of the things that I wrote back then. I'm going to go through them now. Music. So number 2 would be music. Play yourself some positive music. I mean, people do come around my house. I'll tell you what I wrote. This is what I wrote. I wrote, play yourself some music, but be careful as to just what it is you're listening to, as violence breeds violence. Eminem may be a good workout tape, but do you really want to brainwash yourself with something that will cause you to be filled with hatred? Every disc carries a subliminal message the same way ads and soaps do. Make sure the theme or music is positive. People see my collection and refer to me as a softie, but my answer to them is I am a softie. I wouldn't go that far. I would say that basically I do listen to positive music, mainly reggae, mainly love. I do even listen to some ballads, but to be honest with you, I was raised in the 80s. You know what I mean? So I was raised in the UK. I was born here in England, UK. So we're gonna, I was raised around that era, and I still do like them. I still listen to a couple of the rock ballads and things like that. I ain't even ashamed about it. I admit it. But I listen to positive music. Occasionally, I bump on the Eminem when I'm working out, and I need to get those last 5 reps out, and that Eminem just kind of. But I wouldn't sit down in my room meditating on that kind of music and have it blaring, because it doesn't help. It doesn't help the situation, let's put it that way. So the second one is music. Third one is stay away from drugs. I would definitely say that's definitely one. Again, it boils down to the last video that I did on moods, that our moods are either too much to one direction or too much to the other. And the problem with drugs is that again, it's not, it's too much. It will affect you too much, and the come down is longer as well. I know certain friends that they couldn't go to work without a joint. They couldn't. They could not function without a joint. In the morning, they would smoke a joint. There's no way in hell I could have done that. I wouldn't have lasted a week in that job. So, again, it's us comparing ourselves to other people. I don't compare myself to no one. I know my limitations. I know that, so me, I would say stay away from it. It's okay to have the occasional light beer. I would definitely say stay away from spirits and things like that. And again, most people with mental health will have some sort of addictive personality as well. So if something's good, if something kind of triggers that dopamine, then we're gonna need it. We're gonna kind of clutch onto it with our life, and you don't want to clutch onto something that's negative. So I would definitely say if you're a sufferer of mental health, stay away from marijuana and all those kind of things. Number 4 I put on here is watch the company you keep. Again, you want friends that have your best interests at heart, friends that understand about mental health and don't put too much pressure on you at times and things like that. Yeah, I think it's important, because it's all good when you're playing the game and when you're strong. I mean, it's not every single day I'm depressed. It's not. That's not the lifestyle I'm living. Me personally, anyway. I don't think anyone that does suffer from depression will say every day they're depressed. But when you are at your lowest, that's when your friends count. And if they can't really do anything for you when you're at that stage, then maybe you need to consider, whether the relationship's working out, basically. Number 5, watching an inspiring movie. Yeah, I mean, I was having a conversation with my brother about this the other day. Yeah, and generally, I do. For me, I do like occasional romance movie, like comedy type of movie. They do kind of lift me up. I can't remember which one I was watching the other day, but yeah, generally those kind of comedy movies do kind of lift my spirit. Romance kind of comedy. But that's for me. We all have our own things. But again, you want to be careful of the movies that you're watching, because they have the same impact as music do. Take a walk in the park. Yeah, it kind of helps. I wouldn't say it's at the top of my list, taking a walk in the park. I have done it many a time. I would say take a run in the park. I would definitely say take a run in the park. I don't know about take a walk, but take a run. Start off with maybe one lap around the park, maybe once a week. Then it might be twice a week, and then you're building your cardiovascular levels up. That definitely helps. Definitely helps. Dancing. Yes, number 7 is dancing. Dancing is good. Dancing is good. If you can't dance outside, maybe have a social anxiety, then do it in your own company of your own home, living room, whatever. Put on some nice music that you like and dance. Have a good time. At least then if you're one of those people that are shy and you're worried about people kind of taking the mickey out of you when you dance or whatever, and then do it in your own company, do it among your own friends, and if even do it by yourself. Some certain times I put on music and I dance by myself. I don't feel guilty about it. Remember, you got to look after yourself. Sometimes we spend too much of our lives trying to live up to other people's expectations. But going back to my previous videos, there's some people that don't know and will never know, and you've got to kind of learn to kind of zone those people out in a sense, because how can I put it, if they don't really understand you, then they're not really helping you in a sense, and when you're at your lowest, those same people that are forcing you into this direction are forcing you into that direction, not knowing that you don't really have the mental fortitude to kind of sustain that environment that they're forcing you into. They'll lead you down a dangerous pathway, let's put it that way. Um, Number 9, write, talk, text, type. Yeah, typing is good. There used to be social like forums back in the day. We could go on there and you could talk, type a whole bunch of things, express how you felt. A lot of those places don't exist, and this is the saddest thing. This is what my site was about. My site, if it was still here today, I put money on it. People would be going there and talking, not so much to me, but just amongst themselves. That's what this whole site was built up for. And I had essays and essays of things, not just from me, but from other people. You know, it's hard. If there is such a place, go there, talk. But one thing I will say is just be careful, because this is going back to what I said. Number one thing I said to you, remember I said to you, stay away from that depression talk and this and that. Stay away from all of that. Let your, what did they say? Let your skeletons out of the closet. Let those demons out. Talk about it, whatever. Push it to one side. You know what I mean? Don't focus too much of your life on that. I focused a good 8-9 years of my life on that. I don't want to know about it. This is the last video I do on this. I guarantee you that much anyway. Number 10, take up a hobby. Yeah, I mean, basketball, football, pool. There's pool. And then, funny enough, that goes into number 10, play a PC console game. Games aren't bad. I mean, they're not all bad. Games, what they do is, even scientists have proven that even in the later stages of your life, they encourage people that have developed dementia, basically, they encourage them to play it, because it your brain is a muscle in itself, really, and it needs to be exercised. And if you're not doing much, then it kind of becomes, there's a word for it in personal training, I can't remember what the word is, but yeah, so you want to keep your brain kind of active. A console games, as silly as they sound, he spends all his time playing computer games. Well, if he does, it's too much of his time, but it's not a bad thing playing computer games. Pick up a temporary drama class. There are, depending on your area, you might have a drama class workshop. Drama is a very good thing. I'm glad I spent 3 years of my life in it, because it helped me to express myself. I can jump on stage and talk to hundreds of people and feel no way about it. I can't even take abuse if some of them were shouting back at me, whatever. I can deal with all of that, and that's drama that helped me to do that. Drama workshop, or even a drama course if you have time. Boxing, I said put boxing here. Boxing is not bad. It's good cardio, definitely good cardio, keeps you in shape. There's many videos on YouTube now. I will actually watch a YouTube video where it goes on for an hour. It's a collection of videos. In fact, if you're watching this video, just look on my playlist of videos, and you'll see random videos, I think it's called, something like that. And the first, I believe it's 6 videos. Those are the videos that I work out to twice a week, and that's my cardio. I do actually use that. So if you need help on where to begin, go on to random videos on my playlist, and he teaches you the basics of boxing and things like that, and that's very good for you, very good for your cardio. It lets out a bit of anger and everything else. Number 14, a clean environment. Yeah, this is extremely important. Your environment has to be clean, because if you're waking up in the morning to a dirty environment, it's just depressing. It really is depressing. It has to be clean. It relieves half of that depression. It relieves half of it when the area is clean, and it doesn't have to be OCD clean. You know what I mean? I've got way too many things in here. If I was to spend, God, I'd be spending a long time if I was in there cleaning. If it was spotlessly clean every day, that would just be stupid. After 3 hours, you can see little particles of dust reappearing. So, make sure it's clean. Just basically that, it's cluster free. Number 15 is stay away from bad food. Yep, stay away from things like junk food, because like KFC, too much of that kind of food chips and all of that kind of stuff, it will eventually get to you, especially McDonald's, fast food and all of that. Eventually you will see it having an impact on your mood. Right, I'm running out of time here, so my last one, which is 15, would be sunlight. Sunlight, that's the most important. In fact, that should have been number one. Sunlight. Make sure that the area that you're in is, you know, whatever room you're in, wherever you're working, the sunlight is beaming in on you, because that's extremely important. That is number one, if anything. And that's the best advice I can give you. Hope it helps you, and peace. I'll see you in the next videos.